Hello, welcome or welcome back. In today's lesson we will improve on previous video's lesson, improve quite a bit actually. For this you will need a lot of space and then please come to lie onto your back. And we will start with a classic flexion movement. Do you remember? Flexion in lying on the back. How does this work to harmonize the flexion pattern? What's the easiest way to do this? If you have been following me for quite a while, you know already there's a couple of ways to do so. Follow along if you will. Please bring both your feet to stand with your knees pointing towards the ceiling. So this is already, we started already a flexion pattern because you see now the hip joints, where you feel with yourself, now your hip joints are bent, of course, and the back is inclined to round a little bit. Maybe you can feel that. Maybe you can feel when your feet are standing that you're pressing more against the floor, maybe in the middle of your back or something like this. And this kind of cue is already part of the lesson to make you become aware of that this first standing of the feet is already part of the flexion lesson. And then bring your right hand behind your head. So your head is supported by your right hand. And this is already, we're further into the flexion lesson because now when your head is resting in your right hand, the head is lifted a little bit from the floor, so the front side already got a little bit shorter than it was compared with just lying down. And we can improve or strengthen this flexion by lifting the head. So please lift your head a little bit. And where to lift it? So there's many ways to lift the head. Of course, you could keep your face parallel to the ceiling, but that's not that much of a flexion, is it? So please look in between your knees or look towards your toes. What kind of socks do you wear today? What color is that possible? So just lift your head a little bit so you can be more rounded in the back and more shortened in the front. So this is a flexion and come back again. And then you already know this probably, how to improve on that, how to make this stronger. So with your left hand, get hold of your left knee somewhere, in any way you like to hold your left knee, to make this little packet. And we're getting already stronger into the flexion lesson because when you hold your left knee, of course your left shoulder comes off the floor just a little bit. And you're even more into flexion because your muscles and the upper left part of your body, the pecs, the breast muscles, they shorten a little bit. Your clavicle, the angle of your clavicle changes more into a flexion pattern. Isn't that cool? How everything comes together. I just point out the obvious. And then lift your head towards your left knee or move your left knee towards your head. And we did this, of course, many times in previous videos. So just do this a couple of times to see how is your state today, how far, how much are you aware of this movement, how is your breathing disturbing or helping with this movement. And you also have a right foot, so maybe when you press down with your right foot against the floor, so that's one of the reasons the right foot needs to be standing. So don't have your right leg long because this would oppose the flexion pattern. We're looking for really a flexion here. We're trying to round up, so your right foot needs to be standing. And when you push with your right foot down to the floor, you can verify for yourself that you can lift your pelvis. Can you? Yes? You can lift your pelvis, and by lifting your pelvis into the air, you come to lie more onto where? The middle of your back. But don't lift your pelvis too high because you might already have found out if you lift it too high, you start to go into extension and we're looking for flexion. So be very clear that the first part of this lesson today in this video, it should be very clearly about flexion. And when you play with this, or like me, I take a short rest and then try it again, and when it's the right elbow towards your left knee or your right ear towards your left knee, you can feel that you're leaning more against the left side of your rib cage, right? Left, left, right, left, left, left. The left part of your rib cage, the ribs that are on your left side where your heart is usually. In the back, you can feel the arch of your rib cage, especially if you press with your right foot against the floor. You can address different areas of your left rib cage where you lean against or you rock against, and see how close can you come with your right ear or with your nose to your left knee. How flexible is that left hip joint of yours? Is that what a way to address that? Is it that? No, it's yours and mine is mine. Like, we need to have this loving language for ourselves. Why not? Why not be at peace with ourselves? Why not use a loving language for ourselves? And see how far, or if you hold your knee, if you hold your leg, your left leg, with both arms, like without forcing it too much, just suggesting it, helping it to come closer. How far can you curl up? How far can you lift your head? How far can you round yourself? When you really want to hug, give your left leg a little hug. How much of that can you do? And yes, and then at some point we let go again, you let go, I let go, we let go, and rest on the back. So this was a very clear flexion pattern, and we tried to harmonize it so the flexion is distributed through our whole self, and we are mono motivation, what a word. We are mono-motivated, not cross-motivated, not extension and flexion, but just we're going for the folding up, we're going for the flexion. And now, again, please bring both of your feet to stand. Listen first, right hand behind the head again. So it's the right hand, your right hand like before, same hand behind the head. But this time with your left hand, take hold of your right knee. So the left hand takes your right knee. And again, lift your head with the help of your right hand, which is already started to be in this flexion pattern, and lift your right elbow towards your right knee, or what? Your right ear towards your right knee, or your nose towards your right. See? This side is different. It's different, it's completely different. And you can change over. You can change over, not your right hand. The right hand should always be behind your head. But your left hand, you could get hold of your left knee and see how the flexion to the left works. And the right knee, and observe how the flexion to the right works. And it's different. Isn't it? And again, take your time to do it. Don't yank that. Don't yank up your knee. Don't force yourself, but ease into it. Go slowly, bit by bit. And you can hold your right leg in different positions. You can hold your left leg in different positions. And try to find the differences between holding your right knee with your left hand and holding your left knee with your left hand. Where is that different? How would you put that into words? Your findings. So this would be interesting to share in the comments. When I share it with you here in the video, it's I feel when I cross over the midline, right elbow towards left knee, it's like I'm loading a spring. There's a certain kind of tension and condensed element to it, like I'm storing energy in the spine, like I would jump later, like I would go down to jump up again. But on the other side, on the right side, it seems like when I bring my right elbow to my right knee, it's like a side bending, and it seems like a flow of water just down the river. There are no big obstacles. It's just folding. So for me, that's like a very pronounced difference. Left is like loading a spring, and to the right, it's just like a folding up. But that's just my observation, and maybe you discover things I would have never thought of. And then take a rest. Again, small rest on your back. We need this kind of rest periods. And we will now use this flexion motion for the same lesson we did last time together, if you joined me. If you didn't, not a big loss. A big loss it is, but you can still follow this lesson. And, and then please stand your feet, yes, with the knees pointing towards the ceiling. And how did we do this? To roll onto the left side and come up. So this was like a surprise discovery last time, but this time we know we roll to the left side and come up to side sitting by holding the left knee. And by what did we do? We dropped the left knee to the left, and then we moved the head towards the left knee, and then we rolled up to side sitting. Can you remember? Or if this is your first time instruction, you hold your left knee, you bring the left knee to the side towards the floor, and you round, and you bring your head over your knee until you're in side sitting. It just goes up like this, and you're up in side sitting. And you can use your right hand maybe to press down on your left knee. Or what would you have to do? How can this work? What do you have to do with your hands and with your head and your knee to arrive at this little curve, to come down to lying on the back, or to come to sitting in side sitting. So now I'm facing you. I'm facing the screen when I'm side sitting. Maybe you're facing me if you started out in the same position. And when you go down, you're, perpendicular in a right angle. Now I'm facing you. And when I go down, I'm facing the ceiling, of course. But I change my is it direction? I change where I'm facing it. Now, how to improve on that? I want you to become aware of the relationship with the flexion movement. When you pull up your left knee, when you pull your left knee towards where your left armpit, and your head very close to your left knee, the head close to the left knee, and the right knee travels away. It's like a separation of the knees. The right leg extends, and the left knee bends. So play with this idea. The left knee bends, the left knee comes closer, and the right knee travels further up, further away. And the closer you bring the left knee, the scissor movement, the closer you bring the left knee towards yourself, the easier it is to roll up. Am I speaking the truth? Is this really true? Please find out. the closer you bring your left knee to your head, the easier it is to roll up over your left side, to come to side sitting. And down again, the same thing. I bow down with the head. This has two functions in one movement. One is bowing and one is rolling. The bow roll. But in the end, the movement is so easy. Not even a roll, it's just a change of position. It's like looking to the left or looking to the right or looking up. A small thing. Rolling down. So easy. So play with this a little bit and then take a rest on your back. Okay, and then from having rested on the back, we do the same thing to the right side. So how did we start? What was the first movement? Yes, preparing the start position, of course. So the start position, the feet standing, the knees pointing towards the ceiling. And then which hand behind the head? The left hand behind the head. And then the right hand holds which leg, which knee? The right hand gets hold of the, which one is it? The right knee. Exactly. And then the right knee to the right and the head and the left elbow close to the right knee, and then come up to use this technique. Actually, you can let go of your head because the head can lift by its own. You can use both arms to shorten your right leg, to bend your right leg, so it's easier. The closer the right knee can come to your head, the easier it is to roll up over the right side. And down again, and up and down and up and down, and try this on your right side a couple of times. This scissor movement of separating your legs, the right knee closer, the left knee further away. And the flexion is not only in your lower back. The flexion actually is not so much in your lower back. The flexion should be distributed over your whole torso. The neck needs to bend, the T-spine needs to bend. And you can press with your left foot to do a little bit of rocking until you get the hang of it. Until you're sitting up. And back down again. Okay, so we don't want to overdo this. So last video I published 6 days ago, almost 7. And meanwhile I played with this lesson maybe on 3 days, 10 minutes each. So I just did this lesson for like 10 minutes. I'm not overdoing it. Don't do too much, do a little bit, and then the next day a little bit. So you could do the video again, or you could memorize the movement, put on some music or a podcast, something nice to listen to, or just silence also, quite nice, and play with the movement. So, to the left, to the right. So take a short break on your back. And then for the final sequence, please be prepared the starting position. Get your feet to standing. I invite you to yes, stand your feet and then roll up over your left side. So you need to bring, of course, your left knee closer to your face the head closer to your left knee, to roll up. Until you're sitting to the left, and then instead of going down to the left, we go down to the right. But for this, we need to change over the legs. And then go down to the right, so your head will be resting where before your feet have been resting. So you flipped, turned, rotated 180 degrees. Yeah, like this. Oop, is my microphone? Here, microphone still working. Okay. And then up to the left, change over the legs, down to the right. And up to the left, change over the legs, down to the right. Up to the left, change over the legs, down to the right. Try to combine these movements a couple of times. Starting position. To the left. Down to the right. Please use your own speed. Up to the left, change over the legs, down to the right. And you can end up in various positions, or you can be orderly. Your orientation, that was this word I was looking for, orientation. Orientation, you can be clear of your orientation. It's like a clock. If you would be lying on a clock face, once your head is at 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, something like this. Up, down, up, down, up, you, down, up, down, up, we. This can be fast, down. I didn't know it's that fast. This is the first time this happened. This can be really fast. Try not. This was a surprise that this works so fast. Yeah, we can have fun in our old days, huh? We're still young. It's funny. Okay, so should we try the other direction? Or should we take a break first? It's up to you. When I was, this came spontaneously, but when I was practicing with these movements, I was actually holding my feet. So let's try the other side, or was I holding my knees? Just come. We start on the back. Let's try this first. Lie on the back for for a minute. Okay, lie on the back. See, movement. The movement can be so interesting. Okay, also, so sorry.
Order.
Why is this so amusing to me? I don't know. Let's be serious again, huh? Very serious things here. So, with the right hand, hold the right knee. Or maybe I could hold my right foot. Ah, I know. By holding the feet, this could work with holding the feet. So you could do it orderly, just holding the right knee, or just doing the movement with the idea of the scissors to bring up. Just do it very orderly. up, change over the legs, down, then I'm on the other side. How about you? Did you switch over to the side and then continue to the right? Continue to the right, up, change over the legs and down. So one round is complete, but what about this idea of holding the feet? Okay, so if you're up to that or into that with holding the feet, but keep in mind the scissor movement, otherwise I don't think it will work. The scissor movement, when you roll to the right knee needs to come up and the left knee, I hope this will work. So we are alive, going to the right. And nothing happens. How about the left? Oh, it can work. All right, so please take your time to come over one side and to come up to standing. This was my highly improved version of the last week's lesson. And once your last video's lesson in rolling, very serious things we're doing here. And once you're standing, feel how you're standing. Feel how you're standing. Feel how you feel your feet and how you balance and how you walk, because this might have improved, but something else has improved. And the thing that has really improved probably is when you sit down and get up on the couch or on a chair. Let's get a chair. And when you what happened? I eat too many beans today. Okay, so you will notice when you sit down on the chair, it's not much different than if that worked well for you. If this rolling worked well for you, you will notice you can roll up from a chair just the way you rolled up from lying on your back to side sitting, but instead of side sitting, you can be sitting on a chair and roll up to standing. It's just the same. It's ridiculously easy. It's just rolling. So these are everyday movements. This seems to be nothing special, but it seems like life itself is quite special, to be honest. And we can have special fun with life and enjoy life in just by enjoying being alive. All right, so I'm a very serious person, and so are you. We're taking this very seriously. Thank you for participating. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Go down, go up, go down, and roll up, and roll to sitting, and roll up to standing.